Hey, it's Dr. Linda Davis, and today I want to work through potential or possible PowerPoint backgrounds you may want to use. So at this point I have a PowerPoint up. I haven't done anything to it but just open PowerPoint. So let's show you some possible backgrounds that you can do. And it's an infinite number of PowerPoint backgrounds you can possibly do knowing these methods I'm going to show you. We first go to the Design tab, and they do give you some like initial ones to pick from. However, it's better, I think, if you go over to background, the word background. Now that is not clickable. You do have to go to the little arrow next to it and click on that. And then you get a format background screen to pop up. And what they talk about here is which kind of fill do you want? Do you want a solid fill, like a solid color background? And if so, you would go down to fill color down here and pick the color background you want. So currently, of course, it's set to white, but I might want to set it to black, or any other color in there. And let me show you some other options within there too, because they have the theme colors, they have the standard colors listed as you can see here, but you always have the choice of going down to more colors. And with more colors you have somewhat of a color wheel with your different shades showing. Quite a few choices there, obviously. And one of those could be the next PowerPoint background for you. You have your whites, grays, and blacks at the bottom of this list. Now you also have a custom tab up here, which is when you want to get very specific about what shade of that you might want for a PowerPoint solid background. So, and you can see how once you pick here, then you can even get very precise. And when I have used this one, I tend to have the image or whatever it is I'm trying to match it up to setting close by so that I can see it, that shade, is that the shade I want to match whatever picture I may have over here. So that may help you with that. So let me go back to Standard, the other tab where the color wheel resided. And I can pick a shade. Usually for business PowerPoints, I do more dark shades for the backgrounds. So I may do, let's see, let's get a nice dark, maybe berry color. Now if I pick it, I must tell you to do this. Apply to all is a choice there. That means that every new slide you ask for in this document is going to have this same background. And it should be that consistent. So I would say apply to all. And, oh wait, first let me say okay, then apply to all. And it will remember this color for all new slides. Okay. Now, and I would just simply close out if that's what I wanted to do. The other choices are also here. We have gradient fill. Now, a lot of times people do not know how to navigate this particular background color tool. So with gradient, it's giving you the option of choosing several colors to use within the same background. And they will kind of fade in and out as you set it to do. So if I pick gradient, I got to go down here and just see, do I want it linear, radial, rectangular, path, shade from title? And, I'll start off with linear and look and see how that works for me. Now, I typically put the angle on a 45 and not a 90 because I don't want it half, the top half darker and the bottom half lighter. Usually I like a 45-degree angle better. So let me just change that to 45 using my keypad. And it kind of puts everything on a nice diagonal, and I kind of like that better. Now, below that you'll see gradient stops, and this is where you insert, in this case it's got 3 colors ready for you to put in. You don't have to use all 3 colors. You can add and take away colors as needed using the green plus add gradient stop or the red X remove gradient stop. So for instance, if I wanted black and gray, I would click and activate that first gradient stop. And then I would go down below and say color. And if I want black, I'm going to start off with black. Notice how the slide changes. And then I want gray for the second color, so I'll go down, I'll click on the gradient 2 stop and go down to the color and pick a gray, which I will pick one of these. Okay, you can see how the slide changed behind me and how it looks over here in the slide sorter. And then the question is, do I really need gradient stop 3? I don't think I do, and usually I don't include a third gradient stop. So I can click on that to activate it and then just click on the X, the red X, and that makes that gradient go away. Now I still have options here If I want it more black than gray, then I can slide the gray over and slide the black over more, have it dominate more. Just depends on, how you want it to look. And you can play around with those slider bars to get it like you want it. And then you also have brightness and transparency options here. And sometimes you just may want to turn it down a lot or a little. Okay. And transparency, we can slide that one back and forth. It just kind of washes it out. So that's up to you. I try not to have a very pronounced color change. I do want it to be gradual. And then if I'm happy with that, I'll say apply to all and close. And then it will apply that background to every slide I ask for. Every time I ask for a new slide, it'll give me this same background. Okay? So if we were to keep that. Now, the next one I use all the time, a picture or texture fill. Now, typically I use this one to make a picture of background in PowerPoint. And let me show you how to do that. As soon as you click on this one, it gives you the option to insert from file. And that just gives you the ability to navigate back to your files to find the picture that you want. So let me jump back to some of my image files that I have. And I have one ready I can go borrow that I used actually today in class. So let me open this one up. And we'll go into one of my common folders for the students to use. And let's see, go down here, test 2, pool. We were practicing on that one today. Now I have this image. It's just an image that I called background, so the students would know it was the background image for the slideshow. And it's just a nice dark image of a pool at night, and I will insert that. And it made for a really nice background for this PowerPoint. Now, I can, deal with the transparency a little bit if I needed to, but I don't on this one. And sometimes you may want to go down to, let's see, picture color. You can adjust these saturation levels, and if it's hot or cold looking as well. Picture corrections. Oftentimes, if a background needs to be softened, like it's going to compete too much with the foreground, then you might want to turn the brightness down and make it darker. If you need to do that, that's just a real easy way to do it. It keeps you from having to take it into some image processing program to, darken it. So you can just darken it right from PowerPoint, which is nice. Or if you want to turn down the contrast, you can always do that with that next slider bar down. Okay, so those are just some really good options within PowerPoint. Now, if I like this one, I could just say apply to all and close. And I never like those little pre-formatted boxes. So as an added tip, just go to the Home tab, click on Layout, and click on Blank. And those pre-formatted boxes will go away. So here I have a nice background that happens to be an image that works nicely for this particular theme that my students were working on today. So those are 3 different ways to add a PowerPoint background. And also remember, if you can create your own PowerPoint backgrounds just by going into your image processing programs like Photoshop or GIMP or Paint even, and draw your own backgrounds and add those pictures in using that same design background and going and leaving it on picture. And that way you can insert from file of the image that you created yourself, and you can do that same process for that as well to create a very original effect. So all your images that are out on the internet, they would be available as long as you download them to your folder and you make them a background. And just use the brightness and contrast adjustments to make it dark enough for a good PowerPoint background. I hope this video helps you today with potential PowerPoint backgrounds. Have a good day. Thank you.